Welcome back! Last time, we sailed along the Spanish coast to Cartagena. In this episode, we install our new mainsail and sail on to Almería Mar. Once it gets dark, it's a scary sail. Migrant boats are drifting, waiting for rescue in our vicinity.
Today we're installing our new mainsail. We got a main from Far East Sails, the same people who provided our Yankee, which we're really happy with. And we've made some design changes to the mainsail of the boat, so we'll talk about those in a bit. We're going to take our old main off. So the first steps are to untie the reefing lines, and then, well, obviously I'm going to unzip the bag as well, untie the reefing lines, and then there's some stuff to do at the gooseneck that I'll show you. So this is the thing that stops the sliders coming out of the track. It just kind of covers part of it and stops them coming out. It's the shuttle.
Skua is a Tayana 37. Out of the factory, most Tayana 37s had problems with weather helm because there is too much sail area after the mast. On Skua, this wasn't helped by the fact that she's been re-rigged with a longer boom and therefore a bigger mainsail. To remedy this weather helm, we decided that the new main would have a major design difference to the old one. We didn't want buttons in the main. This is unusual on modern boats, except boats which have in-mast furling. The famous engineless cruisers Lynn and Larry Pardey advocated a buttonless mainsail on the basis that it makes easier to hoist and reef the sail off the wind. There is also less to trafe, extending the life of the sail. The sacrifice in sail area that comes with not having buttons makes sense on our boat, as it also eradicates the weather helm. We also made the reefs a little deeper. We used Reef 2 a lot on the old main, and we knew it would probably be reefed a lot on our upcoming Atlantic crossing. Time to install the new sail. First, we make sure it fits. To make reefing easier, we install blocks at the reefing points on the leech of the mainsail. This has been very useful because we've been able to pull most of the reefing lines in by hand, even in stronger winds, making reefing much quicker and easier.
Because the reefs on our new main are deeper, like third reef is higher up the mast, the third reefing line isn't quite long enough. The other reefing lines are fine, but reef 3 is just a bit too high, so the line is too short. So we've got a ton of spare halyard line, so I'm just going to join these two together Gonna sew them together with a speedy stitcher and then wrap some tape around it, and then we can pull the old reef line out, and theoretically the new reef line should just follow it, goes back through the mast, up the back edge of the sail and back down to the boom, and then we can just tie it off, hopefully cut it and tie it off. That's the plan anyway.
Ta-da! It's up.
She's a beauty.
How much do you love it?
Yeah, it's nice. Really nice.
So white. The next day, we were ready to set off.
Around the Spanish coast.
Good morning! We are leaving Cartagena after a lovely 2 days, getting our mainsail installed. We met some really lovely people in this marina, which is a shame because we're not staying here. But yeah, it's been a lovely 2 days. We've caught up on work as well, which always helps because I'm quite busy at the moment with work. And today we are heading to Almerimar, and we might just haul out there. For the next 10 days there isn't a good weather window to get to Gibraltar unless we want to be against 30 knots. It's time to raise the new mainsail for the first time. So exciting. Yeah, I just went without the stupid button. Oh, it's hard to tell. He looks decent from here. Pull him up and see?
Yeah. I'll try and keep him under the hook.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's decent. What do you think?
Yeah.
This stretch of coast between Morocco and Spain is a popular crossing point for migrant boats. As it's been a very calm day, quite a few boats left Morocco in the morning hoping to make it to Spain. We've been hearing DSC alerts all day, but the situation got worse overnight. So I started my first night watch. We are doing 3 hours on, 3 hours off, and then 2 hours on, 2 hours off, so that we're basically resting on actual night hours, making the most of that rather than just following the 3 on 3 off until we get there, because then it's more even. One of the weird things today has been that there's constantly pans going on the radio for boats in emergency situations coming from Algeria to the Spanish coast. And there's not much information. The coordinates are never mentioned in the pans. It doesn't really mention anything other than the boat being in an emergency situation and the number of people on board, which usually varies between 9 and 43, and then it just says to keep a sharp lookout and report back to 3 or 4 different radio stations. So just as I heard a radio call in Arabic, a thick fog has descended onto us. So I turned on the radar. I know it means nothing. I know we could be receiving the Moroccan or Algerian Coast Guard station. It's just getting a little bit spooky. So I'm quite glad that in half an hour Ryan is up, because I'm getting a little bit anxious. Bit of a spooky night. Fog is gone and we are only 16 nautical miles to our destination, Almeria, and the ships coming out of the Gulf of Almeria are behind me now, thankfully. This is my second watch. Ryan was up for 3 hours earlier. And yeah, I think the sun will rise in about an hour, and I'm quite excited to get there because it's quite cold. I don't know if you can see it, I'm completely wrapped up and I'm a little bit tired as well. As the sun rose, the DSC alerts stopped and we gladly approached our destination, feeling a little more relaxed.
Sleepy?
Oh, yeah, very much. I think maybe I slept 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, we're coming into Almeria just now. First time ever we go from a marina to a marina. Weird feeling. It's just like they said, big hotels and the what do they call those?
Polytunnels.
Polytunnels. Just literally approaching the mole of the harbour. We will probably be in the marina for maybe 2 days, and then like basically as soon as we arrive now, we'll book our spot into the boatyard and the lift so that we can start doing boat work. Woohoo! So we're all checked in and we're just waiting for the marinero to let us know where to berth. All looks good, price is good. They have a spot for a lift out in 2 days time. So I'm actually quite pleased because I could really do with just resting tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes.
This is our berth for the next couple of days until we go into the boatyard. Step off right out onto the street in Almeria, which is a little bit of a strange one. This is kind of a marina, but at the same time it's also kind of like just like a dock in the town, which we've never really been to before. Normally in Europe it's like a closed off place, a marina, but be right for a couple of nights. Yeah, we'll be here for 2 days and then we'll haul out and go in the boatyard, which is just behind us at the moment, and then we'll start on our chores. We're gonna pickle the water maker for the first time as we're going into the yard, and we're gonna leave the boat without using the water maker for more than 10 days. So basically for the pickling you need to flush fresh water through the system, non-chlorinated fresh water. So I've used the water maker to make that water first, and then you flush through a cleaner, and then you flush through more fresh water, and then you flush through a pickling solution on like a closed loop so that it's just like cycling through, and then that pickling solution will be in the water maker for the time when we're not using the water maker to make water. So that's it. The pickling solution is now completely run through the system, everywhere from the pump right up through to the discharge. So now I think we can leave our water maker indefinitely with this stuff in it.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting our production on Patreon or buying us a beer via PayPal. Join us next time to see us haul out and start preparing skua for the Atlantic crossing.